Welcome to Nerdy and Flirty, a podcast designed to help you create a life that you love. It's nerdy with science-backed information, and it's flirty. It's fun, it's quick, it's straight to the point. My name is Cass, and happy Monday. Welcome back to the podcast. Today we have a fun, lighthearted episode to kick things off for this spring weather. It's definitely more on the flirty side, not the nerdy side, but that's okay. I think you guys are going to like it. It's getting warmer outside, and I feel like I'm finally thawing out. So today we're going to talk all about the hobbies that I'm getting into this spring and summer, hobbies I think you should get into this spring and summer, and how to make them affordable because, let's be real, I'm not made of money. You notice there's no ads on this podcast, right? So hobbies are all the craze right now, and I am here for it. I love seeing people talk about their hobbies, showing their hobbies. The weirder, the better, in my opinion. Like, show me your needlepoint project. Show me that wood carving you started. Like, I am so here for random hobbies. You're a beekeeper? Love it. And that's what inspired me to make this episode because I too have found myself starting random hobbies that I think are really fun, really affordable, and really fun for the spring and summer. I have 9 different hobbies for you, and you'll definitely want to stay tuned for the last one because these are a diverse group of hobbies. I am confident that if you are a sports person, creative person, academic person, doesn't matter what kind of person, you'll find a hobby in here. So let's just jump right into it. First one, gardening. I'm not talking gardening like tomatoes and cucumbers and lettuce. Like, that is so admirable, but I don't think I'm there yet, to be honest. And if you struggle to keep a houseplant alive, that might be a little bit out of the realm right now. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying it's easier to start with some houseplants or an herb garden or something a little bit smaller scale to introduce the nature, the green thumb, if you will. Now, I have plants all over my house. I'm obsessed with plants. I'm obsessed with nature. I'm not a big pet person, but a plant I can take care of. And something that I absolutely love to do is propagate the plants that I already have and make more of them. It's literally free to do this. Once you have plants, or once you pass by some plants at a random store, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, or at your friend's house or wherever, if you see a plant and you like it, most of the time you can cut a little stem off, put it in water, the roots will grow, and then you can plant it, and you have a free plant, basically. All you have to do is buy soil and a pot, and you can thrift pots really cheaply. Soil is really the only thing you have to buy, and maybe a pair of gardening gloves. I love doing this. The more plants, in my opinion, the better. I love having all different plants around my home, and now that it's getting warmer out, I started propagating plants to have outside. So I took plants that I have inside, propagated them to make more of them, and then I'm gonna put them outside on my patio. And there is like a science to this. Like, you do have to know what plants can be propagated just from water and what plants can be propagated by division and all that different stuff. But if you just do a quick Google search, most of your typical houseplants are going to be very, very easy to propagate. The roots will grow in like a week, sometimes even a few days, and then you can just pop it in some soil, and there you go. You have some plants. Now, sometimes really cute pots or big pots can be very expensive. And this is a little niche, I know. There are ways to get cheap pots because I'm not spending $50 on a big pot. That is crazy. But randomly, Dollar Tree, not Family Dollar or Dollar General or any of those places, Dollar Tree has some huge pots for literally $5 or $6, and they're self-draining. So if you're just getting into your green thumb, they're very easy to maintain if it's self-draining. Another place to get like really unique and beautiful pots, the thrift store. I love thrifting for pots because you find ones that you'll never see in the store. They're already loved and used, and they're much, much cheaper than buying them brand new. And then also Walmart. I have had some fantastic luck finding beautiful pots, like ceramic, beautiful pots, big ones at Walmart on rollback. Also some beautiful saucers, some plant stands. The key to this though is you have to look around, and unfortunately Amazon is not going to be your friend when it comes to finding cheap pots. You got to go to a real store, look around. This can be a really cheap hobby, and it's so fun and it's so rewarding after when you see the little plants you made. And then, I don't know, maybe this is on the nerdy side actually. Okay, the second hobby that I want to share and get into is for my social butterflies. And that's hosting. Hosting really anything. I'm thinking dinner parties, painting parties, mocktail parties, game nights, any kind of event that you can host at home, host it. We spend so much money going out to dinner, going out to bars, going out to social events. Hosting can get expensive, but going out is also expensive. And if you put that money towards hosting an event, you could have a way better turnout for the same price or even cheaper, depending on what you're hosting. For example, a game night, very, very cost effective. Get some snacks, use games you have, or if you're bored of the games you have your friends bring games that they have that you might not have. There are so many ways to make hosting cheaper. Have a mocktail making party. I know mocktails are so in right now. They are way cheaper because there's no alcohol. But if you are trying to have a cocktail night, that is still going to be way cheaper than going out to dinner or going out to the bars and getting multiple drinks. You're going to spend less than that buying an entire bottle of alcohol to make all these drinks for you and all your friends. And leading up to it, you can text in your group chat, here's what I'm providing or here's what I'm planning. And then everyone can kind of chime in and bring a snack board or bring ingredients for the mocktails. Like, it doesn't have to be all on you. And it usually ends up being way more fun staying in and also usually cheaper than going out. I am trying to host all kinds of things this spring and summer. So if you live local, text me. I'll invite you. Number 3, this is for my girls that are into sports. You played sports in high school. You played sports growing up. This is probably going to be your favorite hobby out of all of these. And that's pickleball, tennis, and golf. These 3 sports are all the craze right now. Maybe not golf, but I know pickleball and tennis everyone's talking about. And part of that is definitely the cute outfits that you get to wear, but also they're just genuinely fun. Like, I cannot wait until my physical therapist clears me to get back into some sports because pickleball is so much fun. Like, actually so much fun. If you haven't played yet, you need to play. It's so much fun. I go to a place that I can play for 2 hours for $10 total. $10 for the entire 2 hours. We use the Meetup app, and there's all kinds of places all around me that I can go play pickleball. And I live in an area where there's not really a lot of stuff going on. If you're in like a city, you'll definitely find more places to go and do these things. Go on the Meetup app and find a league you can join or just like a session that you can join to play any kind of sport. Especially if you don't really know how to play, it's a lot easier to play with people that already know how. So if you use the Meetup app or something similar, you'll be able to join a beginner session and play with people that are better than you, where you can learn the rules, you can learn strategies, you can learn how to actually play. Next one, number 4, is cake decorating and cupcake decorating. Now, I find this so funny. I don't know why. My entire Instagram Reels is bakeries decorating cakes and cupcakes. I love watching it. Like, that is like my favorite type of content to consume, is these random bakeries all around the world decorating cupcakes, decorating cakes, decorating cookies. I will sit there and watch the entire 3-minute video. I'm obsessed. I told myself I'm going to try that. Some of them look so easy, and I know that that's my naive brain saying that, but these bakeries make it look so easy and so doable that I think I can do it. And then what I'm gonna do is, after I make the cakes and cupcakes and decorate them cute, I'm gonna have a dinner party and host my friends and make them eat my cupcakes and cake. That's actually on my schedule for today. I made a cake yesterday. So after I record this, I'm gonna decorate it, and then I'm gonna have my friends over and show it to them. And hopefully it comes out good, because if not, well, whatever, we're gonna eat it anyway. And it'll be fun. That's also an idea for hosting. You can have a cupcake decorating party. Make all the cupcakes in advance, have the icing out, and allow your friends to decorate them. It'd be so fun. All right, next one. This is something I do all year long. I think it's so fun. Pottery and ceramics. There is nothing like going to a pottery place, picking out a piece, sitting there for 2.5 hours, painting it, putting it in the kiln, and then picking it up 3 weeks later, and then you get to use it. Like, some of my favorite mugs ever are mugs that I've painted at a ceramic place. So fun. And you get a beautiful, unique, original piece of whatever you get that you get to use in real life. Like, I just went last weekend with one of my friends and I did a pitcher, like a water pitcher, but I'm going to put flowers in it, and I painted it, and it's going to be so cute. This hobby is a little bit more on the pricier side, depending on what you pick though. But there are affordable pieces that you can pick and paint, like little ring holders, little plates, little ornaments. Like, there are things that you can pick for pretty inexpensive. Okay, so that was number 5. Now we're going on to hobby number 6, which is jewelry making. I think this is going to be a trend for 2024 summer. I'm picturing seashell necklaces, friendship bracelets, beads, earrings, making your own jewelry and wearing it and rocking it. I think is definitely going to be in this summer. I know nothing about fashion and trend prediction and any of that, but that's just what my opinion is on this topic. There's nothing like it being warm out and you have beads on your wrist, seashells in your ears. Like, it's just a fun way to live. And I think all those seashells that you've collected over the years that you always said you were going to make a necklace with, this is the year that we're actually going to do that. I'm predicting it, okay? Number 7 is a little bit funky, and this is definitely the nerdy side of this podcast. Drum roll, please. Adult word searches. This is so random, but so much fun. I love sitting on the couch with my highlighter doing a word search. Like, it is just so much fun. It's good for the brain. Diagonal, backwards, whichever way, I'll find it. I can handle it. If you're not into word searches though, crossword puzzles do the same effect. Sudoku, adult coloring books, like any kind of activity book is so fun. It's way better than just sitting there scrolling on your phone. Also, I've been more into the activity books than I have been reading actual books. I'm just not into reading right now. Like, I haven't been reading any fiction books, nonfiction books. I'm in a phase of life where reading's just not doing it for me. Unless I'm in a book club. I would love to be in a book club. That would be fun. But actually just reading on the couch isn't doing it for me. But an adult word search? Absolutely. Coloring book? Absolutely. Okay, number 8, cooking. And I know that's not always what you want to hear because cooking isn't always fun. However, I'm not talking about the kind of cooking that you have to do when you get home from work and you have to cook and you have to eat. I'm talking about like Sunday morning, finding a pancake recipe, trying it for the first time, turns out okay, you eat it, you're proud of yourself, that kind of cooking. It is so fun making new recipes, and if you're really not into cooking, I think this is the time to get into it. Cooking is such a valuable life skill, and cooking became a lot more fun for me when I reached the point of not needing to follow recipe books exactly to a T. And that just comes from practice. But now when I cook, if I'm out of something, I can think about substitutions that make sense. Or if I'm trying to make something a little bit different, I can substitute things out. I don't need to use my measuring spoons and my measuring cups as much. And that is like really freeing in my opinion. Now, there are definitely people that still like to follow it to a T because they're just like by the book. And if you're one of those people, that's okay too. But for me, like, I know that it was really overwhelming to always have to get out a recipe book and measure it out and follow it. It takes way too long, in my opinion. So when I reach the point of cooking where I know that I can just eyeball things and substitute things as I need to, that's when cooking became way more fun for me. And I suggest, if that's something that sounds interesting to you, to get into that too. If you never really cooked in your life, you'll definitely want a recipe book of some kind. Find a fun cookbook. Find recipes online. There are so many free resources out there of recipes. Find some online and try to follow them. It's so fun and it's so rewarding, and it's definitely a life skill that will benefit you for a long time after. Okay, number 9 is learning a new language. And I feel like we've all set this goal at some point in our lives and then never follow through with it. Nowadays, I feel like there are so many free resources out there to help you learn a language, even if it's just a little bit day by day. I started doing something recently that I am absolutely obsessed with, and that's following Instagram accounts that speak the language that I'm trying to learn. So for me, that's Spanish. I've been practicing Spanish since I was in high school, and I would say I'm pretty decent at it. It's a big priority for me because I have a good amount of students that only speak Spanish, so I practice with them. And curating my Instagram to work for me in this has been really, really helpful. The reality is that I'm scrolling on Instagram anyway, so I might as well follow accounts that actually interest me and actually help me learn something while I'm scrolling. So I started following a few accounts. Spanish with Tuta. She posts all kinds of things where she'll do like listening, speaking, quizzes, and it's just fun. Another one is Spanish.se on Instagram. This is a faceless account, but it's quizzes every day. So it'll have like a list of 10 or so words, and it'll be all different themes like foods, directions, verbs, just random things, and it'll go through like, here's a Spanish word, how do you say it in English? And it gives you time to quiz yourself in your head. It's really fun for me. And then lastly, which might be the best way of all, is following creators that actually speak Spanish. Creators that post get ready with me's, fashion, just talking videos where they're just speaking naturally. to them, it's no big deal, but to me, it's so helpful to hear authentic conversational Spanish because it's one thing to learn a textbook language and it's another thing to actually learn the language in a conversational manner. And there are so many accounts on Instagram. If you're trying to learn French, if you're trying to learn Russian, whatever language you're trying to learn, start following it on social media. You're on social media anyway. Why not challenge your brain a little bit and learn something new? So that wraps up 9 different hobbies for this spring and summer. I definitely want to know your hobbies. If I missed some or if there are hobbies that are underrated, not talked about enough, send them to me. The weirder, the better, in my opinion. Like I've seen needle pointing, crocheting, things like that. Send it to me. I want to know what the girlies are doing this spring and summer. Thank you so much for listening. Share it with a friend. Let me know what you think at Nerdy and Flirty Pod or at Cass Camp on Instagram. And I will talk to you next week. Bye.